Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Andy in Singapore. If you haven't done so, I'd like to remind you to remember to click the like and subscribe buttons because I've got new videos uploaded every week just for you. In today's video, we are going to do a full review of the slim turtle here. The reference number for the watch is SBDC173 and the slim turtle is a new design, a new model, alright? So I think the model is less than a year old, and at the time of the launch they had 3 different colorways. This is one of them, the gilt dial version. The 309 comes on a bracelet, and also at the time of this video Seiko has just launched the latest Save the Ocean Glacier edition of the slim turtle. So that one has a light colored dial. I think it's reference number 333 or something like that. But the entire slim turtle collection, alright, as the name implies, they feature this vintage style and definitely comes in smaller dimensions, smaller proportion. We're looking at sub 42mm case size, and everything here seems to be a slimmed down version of a cushion case diver that Seiko fans are so familiar with. So with the lens zoom in just a little bit, I'd like to run you through some of the key specs of this watch here. So this one here, of course, nicknamed the Slim Turtle, it's got smaller dimensions. Overall, we're looking at a case size of 41mm. Total thickness here is 12.5mm. That's measuring from the base here of the case back to the top of the sapphire crystal. Now the crystal here is a bit special because it does have an inside dome to it. So typically, when we're looking at dome sapphire crystals from Seiko, I think very few models come in this configuration, the inside dome. So I think this is a really nice touch. Okay, I'm liking it. We have a 20mm lug width here, and of course, this is going to be a strap monster. I think you can pair it with a vintage style kind of a diver strap and it will still look fantastic. Of course, the bracelet here is also very cool. I think it is a newer design. This is the first time I'm looking at a non-oysteress type of bracelet for Seiko diver. Okay, I'm liking the look here, but do bear in mind that we are looking at a smaller clasp here with less micro adjust. Okay, we're looking at only 2 dots here instead of the usual 4 or 6 for a Seiko diver. It does have the diver's extension, and overall it does not have very much tapering. I believe this is a 20 down to 18 kind of taper, but of course it works really well for a diver style of watch. L to L here is just under 47mm, and I think, of course, this is going to fit all wrist sizes. Okay, so even if you have a smaller wrist, sub 7-inch, I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. Here are more dimensions not listed on Seiko's website. We've got a bezel size of just under 40mm. I'm measuring from the top part of the bezel here. It does taper outwards to a bigger dimension, but we're looking at just under 40mm, and we have a crystal size of about 31mm here. This watch here does not have a chapter ring, alright? So the minute track is printed on the dial itself, flat on the same plane as the dial. And finally, we have a 6.5mm crown here, which is a screw-in crown. This is a Pro Spec diver, and of course it's good to 200 meters depth rating. And powering the slim turtle is the 6R35 movement. So this movement is found in all the mid-tier Seikos, around the 1,000 to 1,500 Singapore dollars mark. You can definitely get this one from our boutique. It goes for around 1,100 Singapore dollars, I think, and this is where the watch was loaned from. So I gotta take some time to thank our boutique and thank Mr. Eric for so generously loaning me all the watches for my videos. And true to the Slim Turtle nickname, this one here also feels lighter than many other Seiko divers. I weighed on my digital scale. This is with the full links intact. It came in at around 165 grams, so I would say this is a significant weight reduction because most Seiko divers come around the 180 to 210 gram mark, alright, depending on what size we're looking at. So I would say this is definitely lighter than many Pro Specs Seiko divers out there. Let's spend some time to talk about the case design and the overall build quality of this slim turtle over here. Alright, so in this price point, right, the 1,000 to 1,500 Singapore dollars category, I think the build quality is very similar. Alright, this is very similar to the Captain Willard's or the 62 Mars watches. It definitely feels 1 or 2 notches above the more entry-level Seiko divers such as the turtles or the samurais, alright, even the king versions with the ceramic bezels, alright. So in this price point, we are getting slightly better brushing, I believe, alright. And for this watch here, the entire watch seems to be done in a brush finish, which I really love, alright. So I always prefer brush finishing over polish, and this one doesn't even have any bevels. This watch is also coated with Seiko's Diashield, which sort of give you a slightly better scratch resistance. And I think in terms of build quality and finishing, this is definitely on point, alright. Definitely befits this price category, the above 1,000 Singapore dollars zone. I think for this build quality, it's not too bad. It does have a very slim mid case here, alright, made to look even slimmer because of all the tapering, alright, and there's a mouse scoop here on the underbelly of the watch. So overall, it does look even slimmer than what the specs would suggest. The bracelet here is also done in a very new design, so it is definitely thinner than most Seiko dive watch bracelets, and it features a smaller clasp. Okay, so I think it's very refreshing to see new designs from Seiko, and you know, we're all tired of seeing oyster-esque type of dive watch bracelet. So this one here is something new, and I really like this bracelet design here. I think it will feel or fit very comfortably when sized to your desired wrist size. And now let's move on and talk a little bit more on the dial design of this watch here. So again, this dial design here is definitely more towards the vintage retro kind of look, alright. We've got a lovely gilt dial look going on this dial here, with gold accents on the hands, seconds hand, the borders of the minute markers, as well as the prints on the bezel insert. So this bezel insert here is an aluminum bezel insert. It's not ceramic or sapphire glass. So this is the deal with Seiko, right? So you don't normally get ceramic until a certain price point. But on this watch, I would say the overall aluminum printed type of bezel insert definitely fits this vintage and old school look. So all the prints here on the dial, from the Seiko logo at 12 o'clock zone to all the pro specs and depth rating information on the 6 o'clock, they are done in gold, again adding on to this vintage gilt dial look. Very classy, okay, I like it. On first impressions, I thought everything looked a bit too yellow, or too fake, but you know, under the right studio lights and after spending some time, I think it looks pretty okay. And I do feel that the handset, the markers, and the overall dial design here is borrowed from the Captain Willard, alright, SBP 151-153 series. It's a shame that I don't have one of those watches here for a comparison, but I think in terms of looks, alright, this watch is definitely closer to that model, alright, the vintage 70s or 60s kind of look. And now let's check out the lume here in the Slim Turtle. As you can see, this is a typical super bright Seiko Lume Bright type of lume here on Prospex Diver. This is definitely the gold standard, and over here I'm just liking this lume dot here on the seconds hand. By pushing the lume dot here closer to the minute markers, I think this is a nicer look than the counterbalance lume dot on other Seiko models. Let's zoom out for a staged wrist shot of the Slim Turtle on my wrist, alright? My wrist is about 17 cm, and here you can see it fits my wrist so well, alright? The overall slim profile, the mid case here is rather straight, and it doesn't really affect wearability, but it does look a little bit odd here. It's as though the watch is floating on my wrist due to the case back here, but overall fit and feel here is very positive, alright? I think this is the way to go, alright? Making watches around this case size, alright, so under 44 millimeters. Even if it's a big size diver, I think it will look really good. And this bracelet here is thinner and slimmer, and I think overall the wearability and the fit here is really good and very comfortable. And let's do some size comparisons between the Slim Turtle and some other Seiko dive watches I have with me in the studio. First up, of course, will be the Turtle, alright? You got to compare the Slim Turtle against the regular Turtle. So this is the bare bones basic SRP series Turtle. It itself is sort of a reissue 6309, I think, but you can see that they are actually quite different, all right, in terms of design, right? So this is definitely a bulkier or more tool-like look. The one on my right here, the Seiko Turtle, and in terms of thickness, we're looking at 13.5 versus 12.5. All right, so a slightly different look for the bezel as well. Over here, the texturing is bigger, whereas on the Slim Turtle is more of a coin edge. And we also have a really quick comparison between the Slim Turtle and this tortoise over here. We're looking at 42 versus 41. In terms of thickness, all right, you'll be surprised. So actually, the tortoise is that bit slimmer, all right, or thinner than the Slim Turtle, all right. So this one here is about 12 millimeters, if I'm not wrong, or 11.8, and the Slim Turtle, not so slim, all right, comes in at 12.5. But in terms of fit and wearability, these two watches are very, very similar. So in summary, I would say this is a great release by Seiko, right? The Slim Turtles, this is a departure from the usual oversized Seiko divers, you know, 13.5 millimeters and above kind of thing. All right, so at 12.5, still very manageable for a diver and got a new look type of bracelet. All right, so I'm not too sure about the fit of the bracelet here because it's got very little micro adjust. But as for the looks, I think it looks really good. I'm actually considering to get one for myself. All right, so so there you have it. That was my review of the Seiko Slim Turtle, and let me know what you feel about this watch. Okay, I think it's a winner. In fact, I'm slowly growing to like it more as I spend time and review this watch. All right, so if you like this video, if you like this watch, please remember to subscribe to my channel. This is Andy in Singapore. Together with me, we have George, we've got Pixie, and a couple of their friends. All right, we're going to sign off for now. Bye bye.